So there was this project we were working in Enugu. I bet somebody will remember when they watched this. So this project, I was the only female, right? One of the consultants, we were like 4, and I was the only female consultant. In fact, I was one of the leads that got the job. So during the conversation, a lot of things, the money was supposed to pass through me in terms of allocation and all that and all that. So I noticed that in terms of doing that, one of the consultants were like, you know what, let's give it to this person because one, he's older and he will seem to be in a better space so that we can give him at least something to do. He doesn't understand what we are doing, the media space, the cutting edge thing. So let this be one of the things he will do. I said, okay. I shouldn't have said okay. I handed it over to this person. And then I noticed that things were not coming, the allocations were not coming out as of when due. You're supposed to give us a certain amount this period. And I called for meetings a couple of times. This guy will not come for the first meeting or the second, he would give an excuse. And then I am the one that is vocal. I'm the one that is saying, no, I need to get this job done. At the end of the day, they target, you're a woman, you're emotional, are you on your period? Now, I noticed that if I go back to check most of my career and most of the things, it's always been tagged on me that I'm too emotional. Now, I'm saying, am I emotional because you've seen me melt down? You see me reacted out of tune. I know there's this thing where we are female, we try to be prim and proper. We don't even react the way we ought to react, right? So why are you saying I'm emotional? It's not because they've seen me be emotional, but because they believe I am a lady and there's some biological things going on. So maybe that's what affecting my decision. So you decided to build up or mold my years of experience as a consultant under the fact that I'm being emotional because I am the only one vocal enough to hold someone that you guys seem an elder accountable.
Yeah.
Now, at that point when that happened, I didn't have this realization of what was going on. I felt like, he's another person saying this about me being emotional. Am I being too vocal? Am I being too opinionated? So I went back. I allowed. At the end of the day, this job didn't proceed because we didn't handle it properly.
Yeah.
So when we started enforcing it and we called external factor to come in and consider, like, you guys didn't pinpoint, everybody went to this same person because if he allocated as of when due, what would have happened? Your staff would have gotten their payments, things would have happened. I was like, you see, I was trying to tell you guys, they told me that I said it was because we were being too that word again. Now, it affected how I started dealing with other things. So we come to a conversation. Of course, media is, you don't see a lot. It's not like now when you see a lot of people, a lot of females. So now that made me withdraw. When there are a lot of conversation going on, I don't want to be emotional. I don't want to be a certain way. I try not to be vocal. I try not to say so that they don't say Jasmine has said.
Don't be too
because
much.
don't be too much. Don't be too this. Based off on how a certain people are affected. But I've also come to understand that most times it's also because of their weaknesses or their account to be lazy.